Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at the best HyperX gaming mice in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our top 5 best picks, and we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a best HyperX gaming mice. You can find links to all of the products we've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have HyperX Pulsifier Raid. The Pulsifier Raid is HyperX's flagship gaming mouse that favors practicality over flashy features. It's a typical right-handed gaming mouse with the usual mouse 1 and 2 buttons, scroll wheel, and DPI adjustment button. Where it differs from most gaming mice is the inclusion of 5 side buttons on the left side instead of the 2 found on most other mice. All the side buttons have a ridge design, making them easy to find, and they are also conveniently located and easy to reach. Apart from the extra buttons, the Pulsifier Raid has a fairly average design. It's made from black plastic with some light texturing on the side, weighing in at 4.4 ounces, 125 grams, and measuring 5.0 inches long, 2.8 inches wide, and 1.6 inches tall, 127.8 by 71 by 41.5 millimeters. A Pulsifier Raid has average dimensions for a gaming mouse. There are 2 RGB lighting zones on the scroll wheel and logo to break up the all-black look and add some color. Performance is decent for a mouse in its price range. The Pulsifier Raid uses a PIX RPM W3389 sensor that goes up to 16,000 DPI. It also has durable Omron switches with a lifespan of 20 million clicks. The single onboard profile is a bit disappointing but forgivable considering its low price. HyperX's Pulsifier Raid is ideal for players wanting more functionality from their mouse. Its extra programmable buttons allow users to throw grenades or charge up shields with a dedicated button. It's also reasonably priced and accessible to most buyers. Moving on to the next at number 2 with HyperX Pulsifier Haste. Ultralight mice have become very popular, and most companies are now making a model or 2. HyperX's Pulsifier Haste mimics the honeycomb design of other lightweight mice to reduce weight. This design is featured prominently on the top and bottom of the Haste and extends to the left and right click buttons. Using a honeycomb design shaves off extra weight to make the Haste fast and light. It measures 4.8 by 2.6 by 1.5 inches, 124.2 by 66.8 by 38.2 millimeters, and weighs just 2.8 ounces, 80 grams. The weight increases slightly if users add the supplied grip tape. The internals of the Pulsifier Haste are slightly different from the Surge and Raid models. Instead of using a PIX RPM W3389, the Haste works with the PIX RPA W3335. Despite having a different sensor, the Haste still has the same 16,000 DPI capability as the other models listed so far. This mouse is worthwhile for users wanting an ultralight mouse for an affordable price. It comes with extra grip tape and spare feet, but the single onboard profile is disappointing. The number 3 position is held by HyperX Pulsifier FPS Pro. The Pulsifier FPS Pro sits in the middle of the HyperX range and offers comfort and impressive value. Like the Raid, it has a right-handed shape, but instead of 11 buttons, it has the usual 6. These buttons include the left and right mouse buttons, the scroll wheel, and 2 buttons on the left side. There's also a button behind the scroll wheel to adjust the DPI setting on the fly. There isn't much that stands out on the FPS Pro's subtle and practical design. It retains the all-black look, like the other models, and only has RGB lighting on the scroll wheel and logo. When it comes to size, the FPS Pro measures 5.0 by 2.7 by 1.64 inches, 127.6 by 71.0 by 41.9 millimeters, and weighs 4.5 ounces, 130 grams, making it quite bulky. While it looks different externally, the FPS Pro shares a few components with the Raid and Surge models, with one major difference. HyperX sticks to its formula by using the PIX RPM W3389 sensor with 16,000 DPI. The HyperX FPS Pro also matches the other options by having Omron switches. One of the differences is that it has 3 onboard profiles like the Surge instead of a single one like the Raid and Haste models. HyperX's FPS Pro is a no-frills, 6-button gaming mouse that's ideal for most games. It might not have the most advanced features, but its core functionality works well. Considering its price, it's worth a look for users wanting a capable gaming mouse and offers decent value. Next at number 4, we have HyperX Pulsifier Surge. HyperX's Pulsifier Surge has a more conventional layout than the Raid. Instead of a right-handed ergonomic design like the Raid, it has a symmetrical design. There are only side buttons on the left side, meaning the symmetrical design doesn't lend itself to left-handed players. A major selling point of the Pulsifier Surge is its RGB lighting. There are 2 light strips running along each side that meet at the back in addition to the logo. Between the strips and logo, there's a massive 32 programmable zones controlled by HyperX's Ingenuity software. Despite the exterior differences, many of the Surge's features match the Raid. Both mice use the Pixar PM-W3389 sensor going up to 16,000 dpi and have durable Omron switches. One of the major differences is that the Surge has 3 onboard profiles instead of only 1, like the Raid. The Pulsifier Surge has a symmetrical shape and 32 zones of RGB lighting. There also has 3 onboard profiles and the same Pixar PM-W3389 as the Raid. This mouse is worthwhile for users who like RGB lighting. Other users may be better off with alternative options from this list. Finally, the number 5 position is dominated by HyperX Pulsifier Core. The HyperX Pulsifier Core is the company's entry-level mouse. Despite its lower price tag, it has the same sturdy construction as its more expensive siblings, but its functionality lags behind. Like the Surge, it has a symmetrical shape, but lacks buttons on the right side. Instead, it sticks to a standard layout with 2 buttons on the left side to complement the left and right mouse buttons and scroll wheel. For a budget-friendly option, it's a bit surprising to see 2 DPI buttons behind the scroll wheel to adjust it up or down during a game. One of the main differences between the Core and the other mice in the HyperX range is its sensor. Instead of using a 16,000 dpi sensor like the others, it works with the Pixar PAW3327 that goes up to 6,200 dpi. While this figure is low when compared to the other mice listed here, it's acceptable for gaming and should be enough for most players. Another sacrifice to cut costs is RGB lighting. Instead of 2 or more lighting zones, like other HyperX mice, the Core only has a single lighting zone on the logo. Most of its other design aspects match the rest of the range, and it measures 4.7 by 2.52 by 1.63 inches, 119.3 by 63.9 by 41.3 millimeters, and weighs 3.29 ounces, 93 grams. While the Core doesn't have the most features or best performance, it still retains decent build quality. It's ideal for budget-conscious users looking for a reliable mouse without having to spend much. That's all for today. We upload computer and accessories product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.